Properties of life. What makes something truly alive? Is it movement, breathing, growing, or the ability to respond to the world around it? In this video, we'll explore the simple but powerful characteristics that all living things share, from the tiniest cell to the largest organism on Earth. By the end, you'll see life in a whole new way and understand how scientists know what is alive and what is not. There are 8 key properties of life, namely growth and development, reproduction, evolution, energy processing, order, sensitivity or response to the environment, regulation or homeostasis, and adaptation. Have you ever wondered how a tiny seed becomes a tall tree, or how a single cell becomes a human being? This is where growth and development comes in. Growth means an increase in size or number of cells. All living things grow by using energy to make new cells. Plants grow taller, animals grow bigger, and even microscopic organisms grow by dividing into more cells. Development means change over time. As living things grow, they also become more complex. A baby learns to walk and talk. A caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. These changes happen in a specific order and are controlled by instructions in DNA. Growth and development work together to help living things survive and function properly. And offspring grow to show similar characteristics as parents. Non-living objects don't truly grow or develop. They don't use energy or follow genetic instructions. Reproduction is the ability of living things to produce new organisms. This can happen in 2 main ways: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, single-celled organisms make exact copies of themselves. They first duplicate their DNA, then divide equally to form new cells. This is common in bacteria, and it allows life to reproduce quickly. In sexual reproduction, 2 parents contribute genetic information during fertilization, creating offspring that are similar, but not identical, to the parents. This variation helps species adapt and survive over time. For example, multicellular organisms have specialized reproductive cells called gametes, which are involved in fertilization, resulting in formation of new organisms. It is important to note that during reproduction, DNA-containing genes are passed from parents to offspring, ensuring that offspring belong to the same species. Now, let's look at evolution, which is the gradual change in populations of organisms over many generations. These changes happen because individuals with helpful traits are more likely to survive and reproduce. Over time, those helpful traits become more common. A clear example is human evolution. Millions of years ago, early human ancestors looked very different from us today. Over generations, humans evolved to walk upright, develop larger brains, use tools, and communicate using complex language. These changes helped our species survive in different environments. Evolution doesn't happen to individuals. It happens to populations over long periods of time. It explains both the diversity of life on Earth and how species are connected. Another property of life is energy processing. It explains how organisms obtain and use energy to power every activity that keeps them alive. Living organisms use energy to grow, repair cells, move, and carry out daily activities. Without energy, life cannot continue. A great example is plants. Plants get their energy from sunlight through a process called photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to make glucose, which is a type of sugar. This glucose stores chemical energy that the plant uses as food to grow and survive. Animals, including humans, cannot make their own food. Instead, they get energy by eating plants or other animals. The next property of life is order. Every living thing is made up of highly ordered structures, from tiny cells to entire organisms. Everything in an organism has a specific structure and function, starting from the molecules that make up cells to the cells themselves, which form tissues, then organs, organ systems, and finally the whole organism. For example, in humans, cells in your heart work together to pump blood, while your stomach cells work to digest food. This precise organization allows living things to function efficiently and survive. Order shows us that life is structured, connected, and coordinated at every level. We've seen how living things are highly organized, with every part working together in order. But being organized is not enough. Living things also need to sense and respond to their surroundings. Sensitivity allows organisms to detect changes in their environment and react in ways that help them survive. Living things have the ability to sense and respond to their environment, and this helps them survive. Plants, for example, bend toward light to get energy. Bacteria can move away from harmful chemicals. Animals have special sensory receptors. Eyes detect light, ears detect sound, and skin senses touch, pressure, and temperature. These responses allow organisms to react to changes, avoid danger, and find what they need to live. Sensitivity shows us that life is not just about being alive. It is also about being aware and responsive. Have you ever wondered how your body keeps a stable internal environment, even when the world around you changes? This ability is called homeostasis, a key property of life. Homeostasis is when organisms maintain balance inside their bodies, such as temperature, water levels, or pH, despite changes in the outside environment. To do this, living things activate regulatory mechanisms. For example, humans use thermoregulation to control body temperature. If it's too hot, we sweat to cool down. If it's too cold, we shiver to generate heat. These automatic adjustments keep our internal environment stable and allow our cells to function properly. Plants do this too. They close or open stomata to regulate water loss depending on sunlight or humidity. Finally, let's look at adaptation. Adaptation is the process where organisms develop traits that help them live and reproduce in specific conditions. A classic example is the peppered moth during the Industrial Revolution. Before pollution, most moths were light-colored and could blend in with trees, avoiding predators. But when soot darkened the trees, the light moths became easy prey. Over time, dark-colored moths became more common because they were better camouflaged. This change helped the species survive in a new environment. Adaptations are not quick. They happen over many generations. They can involve physical traits, like color or shape, or behaviors, like migration or hibernation. Adaptations show us that living things are capable of evolving to meet the challenges of their environment. Now that we've explored all the properties of life, let's quickly recap. Living things grow and develop, reproduce to pass on their genes, and evolve over generations. They process energy to power their activities, maintain order from molecules to whole organisms, and show sensitivity by responding to their environment. They keep a stable internal environment through homeostasis, and over time they adapt to survive in changing conditions. These properties work together to make life unique, complex, and fascinating. If you enjoyed learning about what makes life alive, don't stop here. Click on the next video to explore even more amazing biology topics.